softly on the frozen air.
La, tracing gentle lines of light.
Rising like a silver flame.
Their voices meeting in the quiet hall.
Shining high, love following near. Grounding below, weaving softly, drawing near.
Step by step, a deep refrain.
Lifting up the growing flame.
I carried far through open space. Carbonate drifting, shifting, tracing gray. Traveling bright, rising light. Moving upward on. Voices turning, rising, lifting on. A pillar of one, surrounding the hall, reaching the high beam. Tall voices turning, rising, lifting on. Soaring higher still, run in steady light. Oh, deep and resounding, merging bright, expanding into white. Long, drifting into dawn.
A horizon appears where nothing was known. A doorway breathes in silent light. It wasn't there before. My pulse begins to lead ahead towards something more.
A distant glimmer pulls my sight beyond familiar ground.
Every step invents itself with each new sound. Curiosity ignites the air, anticipation grows. What waits beyond imagination, nobody knows. Into the unknown we go with wonder in our eyes. Not fear but fascination, rising as we rise. Every turn unveils a spark, every moment glows. The thrill of discovery is how the future shows. A map dissolves inside my hands as pathways reorganize. What once was blank becomes alive before my eyes.
I gather courage from the breeze. It laughs and pulls me near.
Each uncertainty transforms into a cheer. Momentum feeds on curiosity. Excitement learns to fly. The question isn't where will we land, but how far can we try? Into the uncharted blue, our voices intertwine. Every breath a revelation, every step a sign. What we haven't seen yet calls us
glow.
Before it fades, let amazement guide our way. Not a limit on the wall, only wonder standing tall. Through unfamiliar skies we gaze with open hearts aligned. Surprise becomes our compass, curiosity our guide. No ending waits to claim this world, just endless what's next. Adventure lives in each breath. Still we move, still amazed, forward smiling, unafraid. A glow in open air. It drifts, it lingers there. Ooh, a motion without form. The stillness starts to warm. Sound is moving before direction wakes. Opening to light. Everything feels bright. No edge, no delay. Carried on the borders fall apart. They're widening of heart. We shimmer deep inside. The pool we do not hide. Breath becomes momentum. The stillness settles in. open room and slowly shapes the time. I feel the floor beneath my breath, more solid than before. A quiet pool that asks me not to search for something more. Nothing calls for sudden highs, no spark demands to rise. The strength we find is gathered deep and lives behind our eyes. We stand inside a gentler turn where motion learns to stay. Each moment loosens carefully and softly finds its way. What fades creates a deeper space for tone and breath to grow. A steady warmth, a lasting glow. Final weight instead of lift, a path that doesn't stray. The sound that carries fullness in its call and patient grace. I let the echoes settle low, to stretch or climb. The voice becomes a held embrace that widens over time. What moves us forward doesn't shout or claim a sharp light. The power rests in staying near and holding through the night. We move along a deeper curve, no edge to overcome. What grows is shaped by quiet trust and never needs to run. No brilliance meant to overwhelm, no height we have to show. Just voices joined in even flow. The threshold opens before intention forms.
The air begins to tilt ahead as moments gather shape.
I send a syllable outward and watch it rearrange.
A trace of warmth pulls me along without a single sign. What starts as drift becomes a path drawn thin across the mind.
Nothing here is standing still, each instant bends to go. The hush before expression is already in flow. Let the tones accelerate through widening release. Not pursuit, not surrender, just unfolding ease. When one ascent falters, another steadies pace.
We gain direction inside shared space. I cast a phrase into the light, it alters as it lands. No origin, no ownership, just motion in the hands.
I gather resonance within and let it reorganize. A single pulse transformed itself into a lifted rise.
Each contour seeks momentum, each interval decides. We don't force alignment, it naturally collides.
Let the currents multiply across an open frame. No above, no underneath, no need to name.
If one intention fractures, the other holds the line. Progress appears by
Suspend the arc before it falls. Preserve the span between the calls. Neither echo nor demand, only balance taking form. Let expansion carry through, clear of weight or force. Separate beginnings, find a merged course.
when uncertainty surfaces, the answer isn't set. It's how the motion is led. No conclusion, no refrain, just direction. Without a name.
The quiet glow appears. A gentle shift across the air invites my breath to lean. The world feels wider than before, more open than it's been.
A subtle pull move beyond the known without a spoken sign. Each step dissolves the former edge of space and time.
Anticipation fills the room like light before the day. We move before the answer comes and let it lead the way. We enter what has no name with eyes and hearts awake. Every moment shimmers bright with each choice that we make. Nothing waits to hold us back. Nothing tells us no. The joy of finding what's unseen is all we need to soften underfoot as patterns rearrange. What once felt distant now feels near, a promise made of change.
I take the courage in your tone, it steadies as we rise. The unknown turns to invitation right before our eyes.
Curiosity becomes our guide. Excitement starts to stay. We don't ask where this will end. We're alive along the something shifts below the surface. Thinner than before, as if it might divide. A trembling thought I can't ignore begins to open wide.
I sense a fracture in the calm,
a signal without sound.
what once felt stable starts to move.
Its certainty unwound. Every second stretches tight between the now and then. What breaks apart is also where we begin. We stand at the edge of certainty, watching it dissolve.
Nothing here remains the same, nothing to resolve.
What we lose becomes the door. What fades begins to glow.
The moment cracks and pulls us through.
away. No anchor left in place. The rush but falling forward rewrites the shape of grace. I follow tension in the air. It sharpens every breath.
The fear that tries to hold me still becomes the proof of death.
Pressure turns to energy, resistance burns to light. The break within the silence ignites the night. We step beyond the forward line as structures rearrange.
What once defined our limits is rewritten into change.
No shelter left to hide within, no sprint to guide us through. The moment breaks and makes us new. An opening forms before intention speaks.
The shimmer slides through early air as seconds lean ahead. I release a fragile phrase that walks where thought has led.
A subtle pressure guides my step, no signal left behind. What felt like drift becomes a trace, etched briefly in the mind.
Stillness fractures quietly, momentum gathers weight. The pause before expression already accelerates. Allow the blend to surge ahead beyond restraint or aid. Not capture, not escape.
Just motion uncontained.
If one ascent collapses, another lifts the ground. Velocity awakens where we are bound. I launch a contour into glow. It shifts as it descends. Detached from source or boundary, a shape that never ends.
Cradle vibration near my core, then loosen every tie. A solitary impulse grows into a rising cry.
Each measure seeks continuation, each interval demands. We don't insist on unity, it forms beneath our hands. Permit the flow to amplify across unguarded span. No summit, no foundation,
No architect or plan.
fracture enters briefly, another force remains. Advancement happens without a name.
Suspend the curve mid-flight, mid
balance, fully expressed. Let expansion rush through form, unburdened, bright, precise. Separate departures, choose a shared device. When hesitation surfaces, no phrases required. Direction is proven by what's inspired. No rival, no refrain, just progression.
Something is calling
From just beyond sight.
A quiet glow begins to form along an open edge. My thoughts run faster than before, as if they found a ledge.
A subtle rhythm pulls me on, no reason yet I move.
Each moment opens wider space with nothing left to prove. Anticipation fills the air like light before the dawn. What waits ahead is undefined, but somehow pulls us on.
We step into what isn't named, with eyes and hearts awake. Every second feels electric with the choices that we make. Each direction shimmers softly, every instant grows. The joy of finding something new is all we need to know.
Old outlines fade beneath my feet as pathways rearrange. The unknown feels inviting now, a promise made of change.
I gather courage from your tone, it steadies as we rise.
What once felt distant turns into a spark before my eyes.
Curiosity becomes the guide, excitement learns to stay.
We don't ask where this leads us, we're alive along the way.
We move within the unfamiliar, hearts aligned and free. Every breath a revelation of possibility. What we haven't seen or touched is close enough to feel. The joy of first discovery is suddenly
This glow,
Don't let it fade.
trust the pull.
That light has made.
No conclusion, no command, only wonder.
Hand in hand. Through unfolding moments, we lead ahead with grace. Surprise becomes our language, curiosity our place. No final door is waiting, just endless what's in view. The thrill of discovery carries
forward gone.
In shared haze
A line appears
where none was drawn.
A shimmer moves across the air like something waking up. My heartbeat leans toward what it sees before I can catch up.
A quiet pool beyond the known invites my feet to try.
Each step rewrites familiarity as moments multiply. Expectation colors sound with hues we've never heard.
The space ahead is breathing before a single word.
We move into the unfamiliar with wonder wide awake. Not caution, not retreating. Every chance we take, each corner opens brilliance. Each second overflows. The joy of first discovery is how the feeling grows. A chart dissolves inside my hands. Old borders lose their form. What once felt distant suddenly feels strangely warm.
I borrow courage from the light. It flickers, then it stays.
Every question turns itself into a burst of praise.
Curiosity gains momentum. Excitement finds its voice.
The path unfolds by listening instead of making choice. We snap beyond the familiar, hearts aligned and free. Every breath becomes a signal of possibility. What we haven't touched yet calls us close. Light in discovery is what we Hold the gleam
before it flies.
Let surprise open our eyes.
No restriction,
No control.
only wonder taking hold. Through uncharted moments, we gladly lean ahead.
Curiosity becomes the ground on which we tread. No final answer waits for us, just endless what's new. The thrill of discovery pulls us through. Still amazed,
Still in motion,
forward,
bright with open oceans.
Something shifts below the surface. The ground feels thinner than before, as if it might divide. A trembling thought I can't ignore begins to open wide.
I I sense a fracture in the calm, a signal without sound. What once felt stable starts to move, its certainty unwound.
Every second stretches tight between the now and then. What breaks apart is also where we begin. We stand at the edge of certainty, watching it dissolve. Nothing here remains the same, nothing to resolve. Begins to glow. The moment cracks and pulls us through. The balance snip away. No anchor left in place. The rush of falling forward rewrites the shape of race.
I follow tension in the
silence ignites the night. We stuck beyond the fallen line. Structures rearrange. What once defined our limits is rewritten to an empty shell. Shelter left to hide within, no script to guide us through. The moment breaks and makes us heavy around our tone. No marker leads the way. Emotion settles into place and chooses here to stay. I feel the center slowly form without a need to move. What gathers shape is quiet now and grounded in the groove. Nothing pulls against our weight. Nothing calls for flair. What builds its strength in silence held was already there. We stand with in the folding field where balance learns to last. Each moment presses into shape, unhurried, deep and vast. What keeps us here is breath and calm, a density we trust. No edge to cross, no height to fade away, no outline left to trace. The sensor holds enough to be a slow and settled place. I follow tone instead of drive, the line that will not sway. What lingers forms by holding still and letting time stay gray. No signal cutting through the dark, no surge that needs release. The strength is found in staying near and learning how to ease. We rest inside a tempered arc where substance takes its seat. Each measure anchors into depth with warmth and muted heat. What shapes itself avoids display, no summit left to clay. Just sound that stays and feels the same. The room holds still around my breath. No signal, no demand. A weight settles into sound that finally can stand.
I feel the tone right below, where warmth is slow and wide.
Nothing asks to reach above. It asks us both to stay inside. No sudden lift,
No open flame,
what grows is held
and keeps its shape.
We remain within the center, where pressure turns to calm. Each moment thickens quietly, without the need to climb. What deepens doesn't call for light, or try to rise or roll. It gathers weight and feels like home. edge dissolve itself, no height left to pursue. The strength I find is staying close to what already feels true. I follow toad instead of spark, the line that doesn't bend. What lasts is shaped by holding on, not by how far we extend. No brilliance meant to pull the ear.
Your crest we have to reach.
The power rests in staying near,
And letting depths sink.
we move along a lowered arc, no summit in our view. Form forms is slow and gathers mass, as steady voices do. No cry designed to break the air,
No peak we need to walk.
just sound that stays.
And sound that holds.
Alive, my soul is head, my soul's on the spins, and all the fears that I will feign for the light that I will bear. Don't run away, is it so? On my night, I see the endless storm. When it's ever so, when it's ever so. Red by night, I see your endless storm. When it's ever so. The same